Before I get started, I want to send my prayers and condolences to those families who lost a loved one, and I want to pray for recovery for those who have been wounded. That being said, how can I put this? I'm not shocked that this happened, and I'm not shocked this happened in a Batman movie. Or something like this, I should say. Let me rephrase it. Yeah, let me keep it like that. The reason why I say this is because I've told y'all that after seeing what war can create, a mindset of violence, after serving in the military and just, being a black person, you start picking up on certain things, patterns and words and phrases and things of that nature. Now, I'm not saying because I'm a black man, it makes me an expert, but it's just that noticing that you see people within your community or people that associate with your community. You turn on the news, this person's being shot down, this person's being harassed, this and that. Then you join the military, you're seeing certain things. And then you pick up on certain people's tone. Now, I don't want to accuse anybody of necessarily inciting this, because we don't know what this guy was thinking. He could have just been a loose cannon. But I'm going to tell you something. From what they said, his parents live in San Diego. His parents own the building that he was staying at. Well, at least the apartment, I should say. They said it's Kayak Tennessee license plates. Okay? The guy was dressed in riot gear. God made sure he was prepared. He had grenades. Gas cannons? And he was armed. And now it's reported that his apartment is booby trapped. Now, I don't know if this guy's white. I don't know if he's black. I don't know if he's Hindu, Arab, Asian, whatever. But I pretty much can safely say I think this is a white dude. Okay? Now, if I'm wrong, I apologize to those white subscribers, those white men and women who stop by and watch this video. But as I said before, if you turn on your television or you go outside and you just listen, and if you understand history and understand patterns, you saw this stuff coming a mile away. Now, that being there's election season, I told y'all that stuff is going to ratchet up. People are going to start going out here doing things they probably never done, or they're going to be sent off by other people. We got Glenn Beck, Michelle Bachmann out here talking about the Muslim Brotherhood and accusing people and shit. You got Mitt Romney and their surrogates questioning the president's loyalty to the United States. You got Rush Limbaugh bringing up about the damn Batman movie, the villain Bane versus Bane Capital. You got Fox News giving aid and comfort to George Zimmerman. You have Barbara Walters out. She didn't get her interview, but, in somewhat defending Zimmerman and shit. You got brothers going in jail, being released after 30 years in prison. We got little boys and little girls getting shot up in the city of Chicago, around the country, in predominantly black communities at a record number. We got wars going on. We've picked partners. We've gone and destabilized different countries around the world. So it's not that shocking to see the violence come back on us, or seeing violent attitudes and mindsets be created by a group of people. Now, Rush Limbaugh, Mitt Romney, Michelle Bachmann, Glenn Beck may have nothing to do with this. Hell, this guy may be unhinged, or he's been watching too many movies and playing too many video games. But I can safely say that most of these people out here that own that shit, they getting sent off or being excited by a certain tone, a certain mindset. Reason why I bring this up more so is because last night I was watching a documentary about Dr. King. And I never seen this documentary before. Like I said, it's still things that you see and you see or you're finding out that don't get heavily advertised. It was basically telling the story about James Earl Ray, why he, or what they speculate, and I think, and I matter use that word, why did he go after and kill King? Now, I still don't think that he did it by himself, but hey, okay, I could be wrong. But if that story is true, what they said, this sounds so freaking familiar. That this guy could have been set off by somebody in television or somebody saying around him or a mindset. Now people are going to say, what is it being political going to do this at a Batman film? I remind you, the other day Rush Limbaugh brought up the Bane villain in Batman, Bane Capital, and tried to tie it into the Democrats and Mr. Obama and Mitt Romney. Now, this could be just a coincidence, but then you got people on television, people in different groups, people in different churches saying things. So it don't take a lot from people to snap, especially if you haven't been exposed or if you've been picked on. Now, this guy is alive. Now, me personally, and I'm going to be honest with you, with the training I had, and we knew this guy was out there and he had a gun, he was shooting people, we would have took him down. So just none of that. But I know people say, well, we want to know why he did it. So that could be another reason why they kept him alive and things of that nature. But I got money, he's going to do the same thing that guy did last year when he shot Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and those other victims in that supermarket parking lot last January. This is what they do. This is what they do in this country. This is what they do. If they don't agree with somebody's policies or somebody's beliefs, or just they don't like people, they go out and shoot. They shoot. They don't care who they hit. They just shoot. Now, I'm going to tell you what's really rubbed me the wrong way, is the media coverage and our response to my politicians, including Mr. Obama. Here it is, little black boys and little black girls are being shot down by weapons that are being brought into our community. There's no gun shops in our community. There's no manufacturing plants in our community. Every weekend, across this country, every day across this country, our children being shot down, our men, our women being shot down, being robbed, being held captive in their own communities. I don't remember the president suspending a campaign or a moment of silence or things of that nature. I've said this before in one of my old videos that I find it hypocritical that when blacks are murdered, and people gonna say, "Harvey, why does gotta be race?" But come on, this is Harvey talking to. Why is it when our people are being shot down, are being disrespected, nobody gets a moment of silence, nobody gets dramatic? The news cameras don't cover the story. They don't respect the space of our family members or friends or the community. I was just glancing at today's show. They had Chuck Todd talking to Matt Lawler, and they were talking about, the optics didn't look right when President Obama went to Florida, and people was cheering and stuff. First of all, let me get something straight. They probably, and I watched it, I don't think they knew. If they did, they was shocked, they was sad too. But to sit here and make it as if that everything gotta be so damn somber when it comes down to a group of white folk, and I'm assuming that a large portion of this group are white, okay, or just a few, or it happened outside or in the predominantly white community. Let me say that, okay. Everybody's reaction is different. It's a national tragedy. Any loss of human life by violence should be, let me phrase that. Any loss of innocent human life should be deemed as tragic. Not because you live in this state or in this part of town, not because of your color of your skin. It should be all tragic. But I'm telling you right now, if this is a predominantly black community, they would not have covered it. Not in the way they're doing it. And if it wasn't for the damn movie, they damn sure wouldn't be covering it. Now, it's sad to say, as a comic book fan, that after Rush, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I'm not, when I say this, when Rush Limbaugh brought this shit up, I sat there and said, some idiot who's a Republican is going to hear this shit and they're going to actually believe it. And what if they get fucking extremists? Wake up this morning, you hear about it, and I'm sitting there like, damn. Is that deja vu? Did I foresee this or something? And I know some of y'all saying, yeah, whatever, Harvey. No, but I'm dead serious. This is why I tell some of y'all need to watch these political shows. Now, I'm not saying rush ahead and do with this, but you can't help but make these correlations and the timing of this at a fucking Batman movie premiere. Now, y'all gonna say I'm conspiracy theorists, but guess what? Sometimes conspiracy theorists are dead on about what they say and what they see. It's just that we've been conditioned to dismiss it because we as human beings can't fathom somebody being that methodical, that evil. I'm telling y'all right now, I would love for us to sit down and hash out our differences. But when you see men and women in the media or people excusing patterns that you see at a young age, and then when they get a certain age and have access to certain things, this shit is not shocking. Virginia Tech, all these different colleges have been shot up by lone gunmen, and they usually are people who do not look like me. A lot of people talking about black violence. I never hear anybody say white on right on crime, Asian or Latin on Latin. They always want to throw it back on us. Now, as I said, these victims could have all been black. Or none could be black. But I did see a black man walk out. I assume he got shot. He had blood covered over him. But because it was in the area when in Aurora, Colorado, which I'm pretty safe to say is a predominantly white neighborhood or area, the tone is different. I've been waiting for him to talk about this man's ethnicity. Now, like I said, I could be wrong. It could be a black man. It could be Asian, Arab, whatever. But they haven't said they only said his name is James Horner, I believe. Holmes or Horner or something like that. James Holmes, 24 years old. Parents live in San Diego. They own the apartment. It's booby trapped. He was dressed head to toe in black riot gear. That takes some planning. But when I hear politicians say we must have a moment of silence, excuse me, we must pray and do all this, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool and all, but what about the people that die every day? What about the little black boys and little black girls getting shot down just being kids sitting on a front porch? Do politicians come in from the president or these senators and congressmen do anything? And then folks like us say, we got ideas, we got plans. People ignore it. Look what the Nation of Islam is doing. The media barely talked about it. If any, I don't even, to be honest with you, consider that Mr. Farrakhan home base is here in Chicago. Chicago media would lead off with it. I don't recall them saying anything. And matter of fact, yesterday I just saw on the front page Chicago Sun-Times that, they had the Nation of Islam going in and doing what they got to do. And if those old enough remember, it was the Nation did this back in the late 80s. But people who shall remain nameless started bitching and moaning. Why don't they talk about the efforts that people within our community are trying to do or bring attention to this violence? But it seems like when white folk, what happened in white neighborhoods, it's a national tragedy. No, it isn't. This is a part of America being America. Now, don't get me wrong. I pray for those people. I send my condolences and sympathies to the people who are affected. They should be able to go to watch a movie and enjoy it and have to worry about this type of shit. But I'm going to tell you something. I said it before and I say it again. This is why I'm so angry that my old channel is not up. Because a lot of these things I've talked about, they're going to put metal detectors in these movie theaters. Like I'm telling you right now, after 9/11, our security in this country is very lax in certain areas. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want nobody to say I'm putting ideas in people's head, but it's very lacking in certain areas, okay? And maybe that's the military guy in me. It's always going to be there. I'm going to be looking at things in a different perspective. But right now, with this shit happening, guarantee you they're going to have more police. Oh, this is the irony. This is the ironic part. I'm going to bring this up, and I noticed this. If you got a movie theater that's in a predominantly white community, No police officers are around, hovering around. But if you got a movie theater in the black community, or you got black patrons that go, and depending on what time, they hovering around. This is shit I've noticed. Okay? This is what they're going to have to do. They're going to put cameras in places, the washroom entrances. They're going to have to put metal detectors into the doors. They're going to have cameras on the outside. They're going to fortify these walls and shit to these movie theaters and stuff. This is shit that people should have been thinking about. I'm telling you, after 9/11, we still arrogant. We still got people complaining about, oh, the TSA agents, they patted me down. I feel violated. Welcome to my world, or to most black Americans' world, when we go get pulled over by police officers and we're patted down, or we're followed, or we're suspect. That's stop and frisk law in New York. The same shit that y'all getting stopped, they doing in New York, they doing at airports. Where all them supporters at? Where all them Occupy Wall Street is at? Why are them people complaining about being frisked? See, only when it happens to them, it's a problem. When it happened to us, it's something we got to deal with. We got to push on. We got to adjust. Like I said, I don't want to accuse any of these politicians, but these talking heads who are dropping hits, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I just found it suspect that Rush Limbaugh was talking about the Batman movie and talking about Bain Capital and the Bain villain, and try to insinuate that somehow it was some collusion between Christopher Nolan, Warner Brothers, DC, and the Obama administration or the Democratic Party to name the character Bane. Now people say, oh, Harv, you're reaching. It's just too much. I don't mean no harm, but when you sit here and go on the internet and read the comments you read, go on these TV shows and listen to comments come out of people's mouth, they don't take nothing but a small leap of logic to get to that point. I warned y'all, this is election season, and there's going to be more of these random acts of violence, or people are going to get hurt, or things are going to happen, and police are going to overlook it. I told y'all, these militias are out here. Ask yourself, why is it on? We just saw on YouTube, just one of our YouTube brothers out here and sisters, they got into disagreement. You get some other YouTuber go out there and go get outside forces. What did they do? What did they do? They went overboard with it. But see, when we got our own people out here doing the dumb, we're fighting too many battles. Told you, we are a violent society, whether it be here in the United States or around the world. All we know is violence. We can't never never agree to disagree, or never know when just to walk away. This bastard that went to that movie theater, he need to get his. Just like these bastards that's putting out these fucking videos of these kids in adult situations. Them bastards going to Walmart doing a flash mob. Them bastards that killed that 45-year-old man, they getting life in prison. No, they need to be under the prison. Motherfuckers that molest little boys and little girls, who rape men and women, who rob, cheat, and steal. We need to have zero tolerance when it comes down to this shit. Notice the age of these people doing these crimes. They're using their early fucking 20s. They usually live at home with their parents or have coddled lives. Or they've been spoiled, or it's not a strong adult in the home. I ain't gonna lie. Some told me last night not to go to the movies. I said the last 3-4 weeks, I ain't been want to go out to the movies. Because all the stuff that's going on, people breaking in people, this shit is coming out to the burbs, man. What's up with, y'all often hear me say, those born in the fucking 80s, there's something wrong with them. This dude's 24 years old, born 87. Come on. y'all gotta forgive me for being emotional about this type of stuff. But all you gotta do is turn your fucking TV or step outside your home and just observe, listen. A lot of shit can be avoided, or this shit can be, or we can develop techniques or procedures to try to negate some of these things. But this guy was planning some shit. Now, if this guy is not white, if he's not black, if he's not Muslim or whatever you want to do or say, or if he is, he fits the classic image of the angry white guy, then you got to understand that he may not be the only one doing this. It's usually copycats that come behind this. Now y'all gonna say, what if it's a black man? Then I want to know what his motives were. Seriously, they would take and go this far, because you don't hear blacks doing this a lot. I mean, I know people say the DC snipe, but I think that was just a different. That scenario is one of those rare scenarios. And plus, that guy was from the military, and I keep telling people, once that switch get cut off, and you fuck around with a military person, especially, I'm telling y'all, it's not a pretty sight. But as I said again, I want to pray for those victims, those who are stable condition, those who are in critical condition, those who lost their lives. I want to pray for their families. But I want to pray for us as a people, as a planet, not a country, a planet. We got to understand that violence only begets violence. But I want these men and women out here who have a mouthpiece, who have access to the radio, to the internet, to the television, to politics. Be fuck careful what you say. Because I'm just telling you, the timing of this, you guys just really think about it. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But something's off about this to me, and I got a bad feeling.